Mastery is being removed from Brawl Stars. You don't need to worry about this too much. I think that most of these changes are actually better for free-to-play players in the long run, especially current players. And
Hey guys, it's your resident Asian here, back at it again to do some swag maths for you, except we're not really doing that much math. We're just kind of reviewing the new update and kind of perusing some of these numbers, because I noticed something interesting when I was reading over this blog post that some of you may have missed about it. And the only reason why I know is because I am kind of intimately familiar with these mastery numbers, because I had to calculate these a bunch for my coin shortage video on the main channel that I did a while back, and also the video on Ultra Legendary that I did. So I am like the second most qualified, apart from the dev team, to talk about this, maybe, except not really, but you know, we can just pretend that that's true. So for anyone who missed it, Brawler Masteries are getting removed from the game. I'm surprised that you missed it. In fact, you probably must have just not logged in recently, because there's a whole news tab about it. I think they even give you like a little information thing when you first log into the game. It's a pretty big deal, because Brawler Masteries have been a large part of this game's progression since like time immemorial. But now they're getting removed, which you would think is, oh my god, an insane nerf to free-to-play progression. But it's okay, guys, because they are not getting fully removed. They're actually just getting reworked and moved around. So let's go ahead and just go through this blog post point by point, because I don't have notes. I'm kind of just freestyling this, but I do have thoughts. So just for the quick bullet point summary here of the upcoming changes, masteries are getting removed. 1000 mastery event starts now, and that's how you should play that event if you want to like get all of your rewards and kind of double dip into rewards that people have been saying, because those rewards from the masteries are going to get moved into Trophy Road and a new source called Records. And if you collect your mastery rewards now with this 1000 masteries event, then you can get that, and then the extra resources that are going to be moved from that into the Trophy Road and Records. So then you're double dipping in rewards, so people say. Now, records are just the achievement system that will receive all the cosmetic rewards. So these are going to be things like pins, player icons, and titles. And then they'll also have some star drops, I believe, is explained later on. So they do also have resources themselves, from what I can tell, but these are subject to change, so we'll see about that. The other cool big scoop from this is that they're extending the trophy road to 100,000 trophies. So now there's going to be about 30,000 more trophies worth of Trophy Road rewards, and those are actually going to be a lot juicier than before, since they're getting some of those mastery rewards that were tied up in masteries before. Now, one big thing here that I kind of want to highlight is here. It says we're extending the trophy road to 100,000 trophies, and the newly added milestones from 70,000 to 100,000 trophies can be collected by everyone, even if you have more than 70,000 trophies. Wow, what a nice thing. Although the subtext here is that the rewards under 70,000 trophies you won't be able to collect again, and that's kind of sounds obvious, right? Like, why would you be able to collect your Trophy Road rewards again if you're already at 70,000 trophies? And the reason why we'll get to that later on, because it explains, there's kind of a big point here in this article. Other thing too is unclaimed masteries and Trophy Road rewards will now be auto-claimed when the new update arrives. So what that means is, kind of reading into the subtext here again, you cannot store credits anymore in masteries. You cannot store credits anymore in your Trophy Road. And so when new brawlers come out and their early access ends, being able to just kind of collect all of those free-to-play credits that you were able to kind of build up from Trophy Road and Brawler Masteries, and then unlocking the brawler instantly, that's gone now. Bye-bye to people who want to unlock brawlers for free, I guess, when they first come out really quickly. And I guess that's just going to increase the value of the early access bundle now, because now I guess since you might not actually be able to unlock the new brawler instantly when it hits the Star Road, now there's, I guess, more of a justification to spend $50 on Ultra Legendary. So here's the reason why they're removing masteries. Basically, the whole reason why they added them to begin with was to make players actually want to play Brawl Stars more. Because, you know, if you tie up rewards for playing more Brawl Stars, then in theory, people should want to play more Brawl Stars to get those rewards. But it ended up being to where it was so fucking hard to actually get any of these goddamn rewards. It was so time consuming that no one gave a shit to actually grind this. Very few people gave a shit, let's say, to grind this. Because I know some of you immediately are typing like, oh, I gave a shit. Yeah, okay, buddy. Little Timmy is not going to be grinding, 8 hours a day. Oh, maybe he is. I don't know. Some little Timmy out there is. But most little Timmys are not going to be grinding 8 hours a day to get every single brawler mastery. Most people with lives and Jacelers and have taken showers and have seen some semblance of the star SS word, you know, like it's just, most people don't do this. This is crazy. And so basically people were just logging in, playing about as much as usual to just do their daily quest more or less, and then logging off and not really caring about masteries. So they ended up just being like a source of passive progression that was there but wasn't really increasing play rates. And Supercell was like, well, this is kind of a shit deal for us because we're giving all these in-game resources and we're not getting any more engagement or like good activity from this, which I think is yes, that's I think true, but there's also kind of like an unspoken fact here that, you know, mastery rewards have been carrying free-to-play progression for a long time. And even though people weren't grinding the game just to get masteries, you know, most people weren't grinding the game just to get masteries per se, I think it's still worth something that they were there and that players had them as a reliable source of income they could look forward to, even if they weren't going to grind for it right now. Just they had that option to grind for it eventually. And some people do grind for it, like silver 3s. You know, an interesting thing here is the Supercell says only 11.8% of players have a brawler title since the release of masteries in February 2023. But the next point here says bringing these resources to a more accessible and commonplace, like the new Trophy Road reward, most of the players more, and hopefully help to improve the retention and growth of the game, which is like blah blah blah. Okay, but these are not related points. If only 12% of players have a brawler mastery title, that's not talking about resources. That's talking about cosmetics. That next point, bringing these resources to a more accessible and commonplace, like the Trophy Road, blah blah blah. But what are the stats of people who have collected the brawler resources and the masteries? You know what I mean? Like, so if 12% have a brawler title, then is it like 30% have collected the, you know, silver mastery rewards, which are coins? Or is it a higher number than that? Is it like 60%, 80%? Like, we don't know. And I'm willing to guess that, yeah, most people haven't grinded that many brawler titles since they're only a cosmetic and take like 3 times as long as to get the resource reward, the highest resources reward. So why the fuck would you do that? Are you insane? I have a life. But actually grinding for those silver resources, like, that's fairly achievable. And I would bet that most people have at least one brawler to a fully completed silver mastery. Maybe a lot of people have most of their brawlers have at the silver mastery. We don't know. Or maybe most people just haven't collected the silver mastery at all, so they haven't gotten the max coin reward. I have no idea. You don't have any idea. Supercell has an idea, but they're not telling us on purpose. So that's a little bit, it's a little sneaky drama, a little sneaky. Supercell's trying to put a fast one on us in the data, which is, you know, I'm not going to call Supercell liars here yet, but I'm going to say that if you want to obscure the truth, you lie by omission. You don't lie outright. So just keep that in mind going forward here, guys. I'm not saying that Supercell's lying per se. Oops, Supercell, brainworm, beep, 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 5G, nano chip kicking in. Oh, guys, Supercell is really good company, blah, blah, blah. Okay. No, I'm not, listen, guys, I'm not paid by Supercell. I'm not here to shill. But, like, I'm just saying, you know, some things are possible to just be, like, a mistake. Like, it happens. It also might not nearly be as malicious as, like, lying implies, because that's obviously, like, evil. People do that, and that's morally wrong. Is it morally wrong to, like, you know, kind of sneakily avoid talking about how many people actually have brawler masteries and move them out of masteries? You know, maybe, I don't know. It's their game, I guess, whatever the fuck. But, like, you know, regardless of how many people actually had the resources from brawler masteries unlocked, in the end, you know, it is true that they're not getting that much for the rewards that they're giving out. So that is still true, right? Like, people aren't grinding usually for masteries, probably. From what I've heard, play rates and retention rates didn't increase when they added in masteries. In fact, the game, I think when they did add them in, was still trending downwards for the most part. So it didn't, like, do that much to save the game or anything. So on its own, I think it is probably not, like, they're not getting a lot out of it. So I think that's still a fair argument from Supercell's side here. And I think it also does help that, like, you know, they're doing this event right now where you can get masteries up to 1,000 times Mastery Madness, even a 2,000 times Mastery Madness. I guess if we ever 1,000 billion takedowns, does that even ever happening, guys? I have no idea. I don't know. But it's hard for us to complain because we're currently playing the game, and, you know, we're not really going to suffer because we have this cool event where we can play it and get all those rewards we missed. It'll be pretty easy, I think, to get silver 3 masteries on every single brawler in the game and collect the hundreds of thousands of coins that are timed up in mastery. So we're all chilling, like, we're all profiting off this. We get the mastery rewards from this event, and we also get the new rework rewards later when Trophy Road and records come in. So it's like, guys, you and I, we're up, but it's the future players that are, like, kind of in question here. So yeah, just kind of skimming over these details. Just as a reminder for anyone who doesn't know, you can only earn mastery points for brawlers in trophy matches, ranked, and mega pig, and that's going to be relevant because I kind of want to talk about that a little bit later too. And then, you know, there's also some miscellaneous rewards like 10 random star drops and some pins, cosmetics, mega trophy box, blah blah blah. But really, the bulk of the loot is going to be grinding out this Mastery Madness event. And they also say a little tip here, Mythic and Legendary Brawlers obviously have the most resources in their masteries. So if you are short on time, just grind those higher rarity Brawlers first. Ultra Legendary Brawlers, by the way, just in case you're wondering, if any of you somehow have enough credit stockpile to unlock Kaze when she releases out of early access in a couple days, Ultra Legendary Brawler, she has more mastery points, or sorry, she has more resources than normal. So that's kind of cool. I think she has about 50% more resources than even a legendary brawler. So just so you know, she could also be worth grinding once you get her unlocked, if you are able to do that during the time of this event, which is probably not that many of you, but just in case. So here we see, again, as mentioned above, masteries were meant to give players another goal for engaging with the game after quests were done. Unfortunately, this didn't happen for most of the players. It could have just been because of the rewards or the grinding or just how inaccessible or hidden the feature is. But either way, masteries are not exciting enough to justify the amount of resources they give you. So they're moving them to somewhere else that is more exciting. And historically, Trophy Road was actually a really positive change in terms of metrics for the game. So that's why I think they're moving them to Trophy Road, because that introduction was so successful. And it makes sense, right? Like, most people play this game for trophies. That's kind of the main way people engage with this game, through Showdown and Brawl Ball and Knockout. And so if people grind this game for trophies, I mean, that's what all the little Timmies care about. They all flex their 1000 trophy Colt or Leon or whatever. Then that's where they're going to put the new resources. So it makes sense. It's more accessible for more people in theory. Now, most of these resources are being transferred as just the raw currency, but notice here, some of the resources will be converted into star drops, and the amount of those resources is shown here in this table. Some of it is covered by my webcam, which I don't really want to... Okay, well, I guess I can move it here, just here. You can see it if you really don't want to open it in-game. I mean, you can read this table. I'm not going to read it out for you. You're not a Google Gaga baby, I assume. So the overall takeaway for me here is we're getting an overall coin buff. We're also getting a credit buff, but we're getting a pretty substantial power points nerf. Okay, a bigger nerf in power points than the buff we get from coins and credits. And power points are a somewhat deflated currency, right? Like, they're a little harder to come by than coins are. I mean, just by like the per actual absolute amount. And the fact that we're getting them nerfed by 20,000 is like kind of insane. No, like, that's a pretty substantial nerf. I know early game players really struggle with getting power points, so I'm not kind of iffy about this. But the other big thing too is they're moving a lot of the rewards to the Trophy Road and records as star drops in this middle two rows here. So that basically means that players will have less ability to choose their resources now and choose how and when to collect and allocate them. And I think this is actually more substantial than what this small credit buff makes up for, I'm gonna be honest, because, like, if you think about it, in the current gameplay loop, I guess, resource loop, whatever you want to call it, like in this game, star drops, they already purposefully, by the way, never added some way to bank star drops. That was actually a big thing when star drops were first introduced to replace mega boxes. People were like, oh, Brawl Stars, please give us some way to store star drops so it's easier for us to open these and make big unboxing videos like we used to be able to do in the past with mega boxes, but with star drops. A lot of the content creators complain about this. They never added that because the secret sauce of star drops is the fact that they're not storable. So you can't store 100,000 star drops, or that's kind of excessive. You can't store like 100 star drops from playing for a season and then wait for the new brawler to come out and then spam open them to get a bunch of credits and then unlock the brawler early without spending any money on the early access or spending money on credits or some other thing, right? Some other pack for gems. The whole point of star drops is to reduce player choice in unlocking their resources and to then encourage people subtly to spend money to make up for the missing resources. Even though, like, yeah, star drops as a whole give a pretty solid amount of resources, you can't rely on them. You can't like build them up over time. A lot of those credits mainly that you get from opening star drops in your day-to-day play, because you cannot store them, what that means is a lot of them might inadvertently go to a brawler you don't care about, or if you have all the brawlers unlocked, they'll go to fame, which is basically means you get nothing. And so if you look at it from that perspective, like, yes, we get a small credit buff overall for the amount of credits that are now in the Trophy Road and Star Drops. Put a pin on the credits in the Trophy Road though. And so yeah, we do get a small credit buff, but like a lot of credits are also going to end up being wasted in a brawler we don't care about now, and also in Fame, because we can't store credits anymore in Brawler Masteries or Trophy Road since they get auto-collected, and now a lot of credits are being moved away from Brawler Masteries and into Star Drops, which are random rewards that you cannot store either. So that's an interesting decision from Brawl Stars. Can I blame them? Like, is it wrong? Like, is it like fucked up? Is it evil? Like, you know, I've already talked at length about the credit income situation in my Ultra Legendary video, but essentially players free to play will get plenty of credits to keep up with new brawler releases. That's not so much the concern for me, even with this Brawler Mastery rework, because I actually didn't take into account Brawler Masteries in my video. But credit income aside, in terms of the decision to make it so players basically can't store credits at all anymore, I think it sucks, but mostly just because the Star Road system right now, as it is, kind of sucks as a whole, because it's really hard to unlock new brawlers that come out recently if you don't switch to them immediately and you're not there when it releases. Since you unlock brawlers in order of when they release, like there are some brawlers that are newer that you just don't have access to for forever and ever, because you're locked behind like 10 legendary brawlers before you can even have a chance of unlocking that one. And it's like it kind of sucks that you just don't have the choice of which brawler to unlock right now. And so by making rewards more random, it's like, it just makes that problem feel a little bit more like stuff just feels worse, I think. So that is pretty lame. Now, is this going to be better for the game as a whole? As in, like, is the negative experience that some percentage of the players feel because they can't store credits anymore going to be substantial enough to outdo any positive benefits they get from, like, making rewards more easily accessible for some people and the massive bribe that players are getting with the Mastery event? I don't know, but this is the choice that they're making, and now we have to just kind of bear the brunt of that, because I doubt they're going to change it now. So like, that's kind of one big takeaway from this, is that you can't store credits anymore, and that kind of ends up being like kind of maybe a nerf. But the other big thing too here is, notice I kind of didn't really think twice about this when I first read these numbers. Summing up the 92 brawlers, masteries contain 230,000 coins, 34,000 power points, 24,000 credits, right? I skipped the end of the number, but whatever, it doesn't matter. That's how many resources 92 brawler masteries contain. Are there 92 brawlers in this game though? That's kind of when I kind of stopped to take a quick look here. So there are 92 brawlers in the game right now. That's a lot of brawlers, holy shit. But Brawl Stars releases a new brawler every year. And so when there's 92 brawlers in the game right now, how is that number going to change in a year from now, right? When there's, I guess, 104 brawlers in the game, you know, masteries would have contained a higher number than that, because I think like new epic brawlers, which Brawl Stars has been releasing a lot more of, I think give you like at least like 2,000 coins per mastery, and the new mythic brawlers, which Brawl Stars also has been releasing a lot more of, gives you like 3,000 coins, and then legendary and ultra legendary they give you as many or more coins. And so I'm only focusing on the coins here because that's what everybody's kind of in their panties about, but like, you get what I'm saying. It's the same for power points too. It's just, we're talking 12 brawlers a year. That's like, you know, at least like 20,000 to 30,000 coins and some odd amount of power points. Like, that's not an insignificant amount, and that is what we're losing out on now, because brawlers don't have brawler masteries anymore. Like, yeah, right now the resources that are moving to Trophy Road and records is a buff. Like, yes, it's a 8,000 overall coin buff, but in a year, that's actually not going to be true. It's going to be a coin nerf. In 2 years, it's going to be an even bigger coin nerf. In 3 years, holy shit. And power points are a nerf right now. These are already nerfed. So what are we doing? I don't know. This is kind of silly. It's like, you know, just for context for anyone who hasn't upgraded a brawler in a while, it costs 3,700 total power points to max out one brawler to power 11. So when Brawl Stars says that they are nerfing power points by 20,000 from brawler masteries, That's not an insignificant amount. And the fact that that number is only continuing to grow bigger, right? Like that's pretty wild. That's pretty silly. That's pretty goofy. Because, you know, PowerPoints are also like the main limiting factor for new player progression right now. Like I think that's what all the new players are complaining is like we don't get enough PowerPoints. While all us oldie players, for any of you watching, I'm sitting on like 100,000 PowerPoints right now in game. Like I literally have, well, let me see here. What's the actual number? Yeah, I have 109,000 PowerPoints. So like obviously I'm doing pretty good in PowerPoints, but like most new players are not. And so the fact that that's getting nerfed for them is a little weird. But hold on. Here they say why they're removing the PowerPoints from the economy. It's overinflated for veteran players, so what I just said, but the new Trophy Road delivers a lot more PowerPoints when players actually need them before it starts slowing down. So like if it's true that the PowerPoints are super front loaded and you know you get all the PowerPoints in the Trophy Road, which according to this graphic is going to be 18,600 PowerPoints, right? If you get all of that in the first like 10,000, 20,000 trophies, then like, okay, I guess that's better, but it's kind of hard to know how much better that actually is because it's only 6,000 PowerPoints more than what the old Trophy Road system already was, although that is for the first 70,000 trophies, so that's like, it's going to be at a wider range. So if it's more condensed down, then maybe that is actually a lot better. But it's also hard to know how much better it is because we don't know how many people actually had or were able to collect all those PowerPoints from Brawler Masteries. So like maybe it's way better, maybe it's only a little bit better, maybe it's worse. We don't really know. We're assuming it's better, but yeah, like again, we have no idea. The other thing that I do want to kind of point out here, which is interesting, is when they say they're moving credits, 13,000 of them, to the new Trophy Road, they're saying that as star drops and brawlers. So not just star drops, brawlers are now moving to the Trophy Road. And what does that mean? Well, here you can see for the first 70,000 trophies, kind of hidden by my face cam, but like 8 rare brawlers and 10 super rare brawlers are now being added to the Trophy Road, which I think are just all of the rare and super rare brawlers in the game. So I think what's happening is those brawlers are becoming more like tutorial brawlers almost, which is strange because I don't know if you guys have opened an alt account in a while or like have played the game from scratch in a long time, but right now from what I can tell, the early game gameplay loop here, I can just show you actually. So guys, I made this account like, you know, back during the SpongeBob event, and then I just never played it again after that, really. But like, look at the brawlers I have unlocked. I have basically all the rare brawlers already unlocked, and I have most of the super rares unlocked. I'm missing 4, but like I'm telling you, I haven't played this account at all. And like, I haven't played this account at all, and I have all the rares already unlocked, regardless of any progress on the Trophy Road, and I have all the super rares unlocked anyways. So I'm wondering if they're going to change the Star Road now to remove rares and super rares from the Star Road and then move those to the Trophy Road, which is an interesting choice because that might actually imply that they might rework the Star Road too. Maybe, okay, maybe that might be wishful thinking, but at the very least, it might, you know, make the Star Road a little bit cleaner, I guess. I don't know. And depending on how far, like how many trophies you actually need to climb to unlock these 10 super rare brawlers, some of them might actually get rare for new players or harder to get. I'm not actually sure. That's an interesting one. We'll have to wait and see on that. But that's like assuming that they do take out the rare and super rare brawlers out of the Star Road. Imagine they leave those in. You're probably going to get credits at a faster rate than the trophies you collect to actually unlock all of these rare and super rare brawlers, right? Like, am I the only one thinking this? Like, you get a lot of credits in the early game, guys. You unlock brawlers so damn fast. Like, by the time you even get to the rare and super rare brawlers in the Trophy Road, you might just have already unlocked all those brawlers anyways, and then you'll get, like a fallback credit reward, which might actually end up being less credits than what they're outlining in the credits being moved to the new Trophy Road. So that's kind of just another interesting little thing there, which has yet to be determined, by the way. It kind of depends on a lot of things, as I said, but here we also see the extra 30,000 coins and 4,000 power points and 3,000 credits and a bunch of star drops and bling being added to now the extra 30,000 trophies above 70k. So yippee for us players like me. I'm at like 93,000 trophies right now. So I now have more of a reason to grind trophies for the trophy box and also a more resource income to help me max out more of my brawlers, which I'm in desperate need of the resources to Supercell. I appreciate it. Thank you. No, like I am kind of being tongue-in-cheek about it, but like unironically, I think the only people who are at 100k trophies anyways are people who already have maxed accounts. I don't know. It's, yeah, I mean, it's nice. The resources are resources. That's cool. But this is where we do need to, I think, revisit the pin that we put in earlier in this video about the double dipping and collecting of the trophy road rewards. So if you've already collected rewards in your trophy road up to 70,000 trophies, right, these rewards are going to get buffed by a pretty substantial amount here, right? It's getting 60,000 coins, 68,000 coins are being added to those trophy road rewards that I just scrolled through, the 0 to 70k trophies. And, you know, the power points and credits and whatnot and star drops, those are all being added, and hypercharge drops, like they're just actually pretty substantial. Those are being added to the existing trophy road rewards. And if you've already collected any of those rewards, you won't be able to collect the difference. You know, you won't be able to get 3 hypercharge drops. It'll count as already having been claimed because you already claimed that trophy road reward that existed in the old system. Now, that's not necessarily going to be a nerf overall, like, because if you are able to collect these current mastery rewards from the mastery 1000x 2000x mastery event or whatever, and get all these 230,000 coins and 34,000 power points of the mastery rewards anyways, then you're basically good. Like, you're gonna get a net buff regardless. That's going to be true because you're also, keep in mind, gonna have access to these above 70k trophy road rewards too, and that's another 30,000. So you're gonna be fine if you play the event. But if you don't play the event, you might miss out. Like if you're already at 70k and you don't play the event at all, you might miss out on a bunch of mastery rewards if you haven't claimed those yet, or if you haven't unlocked those yet. And that does also kind of bring us to a little point here earlier. It said you can only earn masteries in trophy matches, ranked, and mega pig. And you actually get a lot of mastery points from ranked, but trophy matches are the more consistent way to actually grind masteries because you can just play the same brawler in the same map again and again. But if you climb trophies, you might actually miss out on the newly super buffed trophy road rewards. So there's kind of like opposing incentives there. Like, you want to try to not push your trophies to try to preserve as many of the trophy road rewards as possible for the new system, but also you want to grind as many mastery points as possible on a brawler, and the easiest way to do that is through gaining trophies on them in the trophy game modes. So it might end up being that it'll just be really efficient to play ranked during the event and only play ranked and not really play any trophies at all, and just one trick your brawler in ranked that you want to upgrade in masteries to collect the resources without getting trophies. That might actually be more efficient if you are under 70,000 total trophies and haven't collected or unlocked those trophy road rewards. Now, I don't know what'll happen, by the way, guys. If you unlock a trophy road reward, don't claim it and wait for the change to happen. Like, when they auto claim the trophy road rewards, are they going to auto claim it as the new reward or the old reward? That is something that I don't know because they don't say it in this article, and it's kind of a big difference, right? Because if, depending on that difference, it might make the difference between it being good or bad to play brawlers and trophy game modes to like maximize your resource income. It would be nice if they made it so you could just leave them unclaimed and then claim them after the event, and you will get the new rewards that are better. I don't know if I trust them to do that, but maybe that would be cool if they did. And then here's just a quick glimpse at the new trophy road. You can see the super rare brawlers in there. You can see the rare brawler Nita in there, and you can see the shit kind of looks like squad busters at the bottom. I don't really know what all this. Yeah, no, I actually have no idea what that is. It's like because, you know, Squad Busters is such a successful game, they decided to bring it to Brawl Stars to try to copy some of Squad Busters' success in the failing Brawl Stars video game. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully this is epic and super lit. We'll see. And then they say a little bit about records, but they don't really say much. They just say like what it might be. So yeah, that's cool. But they don't really tell you much besides the fact that you can get star drops from it. So yeah, there will be resources in it too. But yeah, that's basically everything. Just kind of going into some overall thoughts. I think it is interesting, and it's probably going to be successful to kind of bribe players into making an overall like change that negatively impacts players a little bit. Like, yeah, we are removing player choice, and we are also removing the ability to store credits basically entirely besides the Brawl Pass. But you get all these resources and right now, and so that's like your little bribe here. Like, just you know, just take the coins, the masteries, and just don't talk about it too much. Don't complain. And you know, I like my coins. I like my resources. I will take the Mastery event in stride and min-max my account probably. Although I don't even know if I have any resources left to collect, honestly. All of my shit is probably already at Silver 3. Yeah, all of my shit is already at Silver 3. Wait, am I even gonna get anything from this? Oh no, wait. Okay, well, Crow has credits, I guess. Wait, but I don't need credits. I already have all the brawler. Wait, what am I gonna get from this, guys? Oh no, guys, we're good. Okay, guys, Buzz is only Silver 1, so I haven't gotten coins on it. So is that the only one? Oh no, I have M's. Oh, and M's also only at Silver 1. So yeah, so that's only 2 brawlers that I'm gonna get any resources besides credits from this whole event. Wait, I'm not getting shit. Okay, but you know, I guess I don't really need it. I'm, you know, fucking rich complaining about not getting enough, whatever. Fuck it, I guess that's fine. Yeah, overall it's probably going to be a little bit annoying for most of the people in my shoes who already have every brawler maxed out, and every brawler basically mostly sucked of all of its resources. And even though, like, you know, with the new brawler masteries that we're missing out on, they are technically nerfing resources over a long period of time, I do still want to clarify that it is still possible to get enough resources to keep up with new brawler releases for the most part. And like, I think depending on how they do upcoming special events, like obviously coin in PowerPoint and credit incomes might be very different and very good still, and players will probably still be fine in terms of actually keeping up with the game's overall, you know, resource expenses and everything and all that if you just play really actively. But it still is long term, I think, a nerf if you do kind of take into account all the new brawler stuff that we're missing out on, because they're not adding more and more coins and PowerPoints to fucking Trophy Road, right? And I'm pretty sure whatever star drops we get from records aren't going to make up for the flat resource amounts that we get from these brawler mastery rewards. I'm pretty sure, but I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know. Obviously, again, things are subject to change. I think the real losers are really going to be the people who aren't playing right now. Like, if you really think about it, the real losers are the players who like start the game like after the event is over, on July of this year, because they're not going to get on any of this event and the resources you can get from this event in the brawler masteries, and so they can't get those resources, and then they're going to get the Trophy Road resources, which are now front loaded, I guess, with more resources in the beginning, but then like long term is overall less resources if you take into account the resources we're missing from the brawler masteries from brawlers that would have been released. Like it's kind of complex, but like overall I think those players are missing out more than we are. Like, if you're here right now playing this game and grinding these masteries, you're fine. You're actually way up. So, you know, we'll see if special events can make up for the missing resources that we're gonna have from the new brawlers not having mastery rewards anymore. Who knows? Yeah. It's kind of just all a big who knows. You know what? If Records comes out and it's like, and I do the math on it and I compare the coin incomes, I'll make a video on the main channel. I'll do it. I'll say like, here guys, this is a comparison between what the coin incomes were like free to play before, and this is what they are after. And I'll tell you if it's a buffer or nerf overall. Someone might even yoink this video idea before I get it out, because realistically, I'm not going to get it out for a fucking year after Records releases. But you know what? Maybe I'll try my best to get that out. Just a real quickie on the main channel. But for now, this is just, you know, speculation, live reaction. I don't really know if this is going to be a buffer or nerf. We have no idea. So yeah, not to cause hate or fear or hate or whatever, but it seems like a nerf so far. Just saying. That's going to be it for me. Take care of yourselves. This is your boy. See you tomorrow. Peace.